Lugia V-STAR is one of the most powerful Pokemon cards in the game. With the addition of 3 brand new energy cards with Paldea evolved, it gets even better. With Jet Energy, you can swing up from the bench. Lugia not having any switch cards in the deck makes this absolutely awesome, and you can do some crazy combos with Jet Energy. But that's not all. You can use Therapeutic Energy on Snorlax from Lost Origins and not put yourself to sleep when you're using that huge attack for 180 damage. Last but not least, we can see Reversal Energy being used on all your non-rule box Pokemon, including the brand new addition of Luxray in this deck, and you can pop this right on when you're behind on prizes and just turn that game right around. This brand new way to play Lugia V-STAR seems to be extremely powerful. So how do you use these cards to create the ultimate Lugia V-STAR strategy? In this video, we're going to check it out and see how to play each one of these brand new cards added from Paldea Evolved works in the deck. Let's hop over to the deck list and see how it all comes together. We're going to use the Late Night Special Event number 4 second place list, where we're seeing a straightforward Lugia line 4-3, 4 Archeops, and then 3 Snorlax. Now, when you're looking at Snorlax, you really want to pay attention to a few things, the ability and the attack. Now, the ability, Unphased Fat, says prevent all effects of attacks from your opponent's Pokemon done to this Pokemon. Really great, right? Because we know that Sableye in the format. Thumping Snore does 180 damage, but it has the downside of putting Snorlax to sleep. Now, when we use Therapeutic Energy, Snorlax no longer goes to sleep, so it's a perfect combination of cards. Looking down the line here, the one thing that you're going to notice for V Pokemon in the deck is no more Tyranitar, but we do have Wyrdeer V. The ability Frontier Road states, once during your turn, when this Pokemon moves from your bench to the active spot, you may move any amount of energy from your other Pokemon to this. Now this can prove to be an awesome combination when playing all of these special energies flooded onto your field.
Is it awesome?
It's pretty awesome.
We'll take it.
Psyshield Bash hits huge numbers, doing 40 damage times each energy card attached to Wyrdeer. Another brand new addition is Luxray. Now Luxray can be put onto your bench as long as you're behind in prizes with Swelling Flash as the ability. It can use Wild Charge for 180 damage, and when you pair this with Reversal Energy, you can swing that 180 damage at your opponent with just one energy card. We do also see a Drapion V in this list for the Mew matchup, but I think that you have a pretty solid Mew matchup overall. You just have to play to your outs. When we're looking at the trainers, one huge thing that we notice here that's different from older single strike Lugia lists is that there are 3 Ionos. We know that Iono is a huge Paldea Evolved addition to a lot of decks, and we see 3 played here in this one. Now we are also showing a Lost Vacuum, which is another out to get Path to the Peak out of the way, and you're also playing 3 other stadiums because we have removed the Pumpkaboo from this list. Now if we're looking at the energy count, we see 4 Double Turbo energies, 4 Jet energies, 2 V-Guard energies, 2 Therapeutic energies, 2 Gift energies, and 1 Reversal energy. I think the 15 energy here really rounds out this deck and makes it a huge powerhouse for hitting those big numbers on some smaller attackers. A big note here on the list is it does play the new Bravery Charm, which states that if you attach this card to a basic Pokemon, it gets plus 50 hit points. Now this is great as a tool card here because we do play a lot of basic Pokemon, and all of them are going to have more hit points obviously with this, so we're going to see how this list fares on the PTCGL ladder. Alright, we're going to take a look at this beautiful starting hand that we have here. We have Archeops right there on right where we want him with the Ultra Ball. So we've got Archeops going right into the discard, and using Jet Energy here, we don't really know what our opponent is actually playing because you don't normally see a Feebas in any list, but we don't want to put a 2 prizer in the active for fear of maybe getting knocked out next turn. We do have the Lugia V-STAR in hand, which is absolutely great, and Iono, so we can start to draw some cards too. Gift Energy is really good, and now we see Paldea coming down, so Paldea is really good to start to put some pressure on us, and then we'll just get some insurance on the Snorlax. We could have attacked into the Feebas here, but I just want to start loading up some energies. Now we've got a 200 hit point Snorlax in the active, but because of this Iono here,
I'm in danger.
We don't have the Lugia V-STAR anymore. So let's see what else. They have the PAL and the Melanie, so they've got things cooking over on their side. We see the Paldea V-STAR come down too, and unless they're able to get some, okay, there's the switch. Because of the beach court, they've got the Paldea V-STAR. Still don't knock us out, which is so good here. So because Paldea, let's use Collapsed, and we'll put PAL back in the active, so they need 2 energy cards to retreat here. So as their response, they have the Irida. Let's see what they pull off the Irida. Looks like they're gonna get probably some sort of Baxcalibur setup. Okay, the Greninja and the Nest Ball, so that seems kind of fine. Now their bench is also limited. They had Switch in hand, so all is well on their side. They're knocking out our Pokemon, taking a prize card, and really just grasping. Okay, Mesagoza here off the top deck, really awesome. And do we flip it? We do flip it. That's awesome. So now we're gonna go ahead and get our Lugia V-STAR. Really scary there, but we pulled it out. So we're now able to use our V-STAR ability and put our Archeops right on the bench with Summoning Star. And because we're doing this, we can now load up Snorlax and hit in to this Paldea. We're going to put the Lugia on the bench for some insurance, and then take a look at our energy cards here. Now we want to use Gift Energy for sure, Therapy Energy. Even though we are going to get knocked out, we just want to see what they do in response. Put the Jet Energy there too. It's just hitting for more damage. Now they only have 100 hit points left on their Paldea, so we can pretty much hit into this with whatever we want, even an Archeops if we wanted to. So see what this Irida brings in for our opponent as well. And they're thinking a little bit too hard on this. So now getting the Baxcalibur so they can start loading energies onto PAL if they need to. They don't like our Mesagoza. They're getting rid of that with a Lost Vacuum. And let's take a look. They're gonna knock out our Pokemon, but you know what? We're gonna swing for huge damage. I wanna show you the power of this deck here, because we can really just swing for the fences that we have this Ultra Ball in hand. Lumineon would have been cool too. That's nice. Let's put the Archeops, we don't need that, or the Drapion in this matchup right into the discard pile. And now we can get a lightning attacker, being that Paldea is weak to lightning, with this brand new Luxray. So we are behind in prize cards. That's one step here. We're definitely going to be grabbing that, popping it onto the bench. Now, because it is an ability, remember kids, I know I'm struggling here in this video, but put it up into the field. That's how you get it to work on PTCGL. Now we're putting the reversal energy on. We're going to put a DTE onto the active here. The double turbo energy is going to allow us to retreat pretty easily with one energy card, and we're just going to smack into this Paldea for a knockout. Now again, mind you, we're only using single prize attackers in this deck, again, just like old school Lugia used to. They're going to struggle with PAL here to get some energies and the Baxcalibur. Looks like they're drawing some cards to probably try to find the rare candy at this point. They're going to put this down, maybe set up their Paldea next turn, but it looks like their Baxcalibur rare candy just didn't happen for them, and they're going to concede the game. Too much setup. Alright, game 2, we are taking a look at our opponent's deck here, and it looks like we're playing against Gardevoir. So we have the Snorlax in the active, again, just for insurance, single prize attacker, and Professor's Burnet. Yeah, Professor's Burnet. I said that. No, it's Professor Burnet. Looks like they're setting up with the Greninja, unfortunately in the active spot, but able to get out with just one retreat using Mew. Seeing what they find. Looks like they're setting up all 3 of their routes on the bench. So now going back to us, we're able to just use Burnet, even though we drew into one of the Archeops. We don't want that other Lugia V-STAR. Putting them down, using Summoning Star. Really just swinging. This deck is so powerful. Pretty consistent too, actually. If we didn't whiff that prior game, we would have done really well. Jet Energy let's put a double prize Pokemon or 2 prize Pokemon in the active here, and then we're going to go ahead and just use this Primal Turbo, and we're going to swing for 220 here, just because if they do put down a Zacian V and for some reason Rare Candy into a Gardevoir EX, we want to be able to swing 220 damage. There's probably no way that they're going to swing for 280 damage next turn, so that's one reason why we can put this Pokemon here and just start swinging into this Mew to take our first prize card. So really good here, and then the math checks out. So we do have Mesagoza. We can search for another single prize Pokemon if we need it for later turns, and also get rid of any stadium that they might have. But looks like they're setting up pretty well over there with their Kirlias, and have Memory Skip in the active. It's going to be pretty annoying for us. Okay, so we have some options. We can try to use Capturing Aroma here, maybe just retreat into something. Okay, so we have the Ultra Ball, even better. We're going to put the Lugia there. Now let's use Wyrdeer. So we see Wyrdeer and Jet Energy in hand and the Charm. So all of these things together are so good for us right now. We're going to put this into the active, use the ability, put some energy cards on here. We can use this to just start loading up and have the Charm. So 270 hit points, really great for this Pokemon. It's there, everything's good to go. We have Boss, we could Boss something, but I want to get rid of this annoying Memory Skip Ralts for now, and we're just taking another prize card. So 1 card in hand, Gift Energy on the active, all of these things are really great for us. So the next thing that we're going to see is the Kirlia come up. Now I'm going to kind of pause my commentary here for a little bit, because I just want to point out the fact that the play that my opponent is making right now is absolutely insane. As a Gardevoir player, just seeing this actually happen, to swing 280 damage in these next few minutes, is crazy. How they're going to do this is beyond me. So I see all of these Kirlias struggling right now, and we've got a monster in the active on our side. So we've got all of these things that stop their Zacian V from attacking into this, like our V-Guard energy. It really makes them just dig. And they don't even have a Gardevoir in any spot, whether it's the active, the bench, nothing right now. They're using Fog Crystals to dig here. They're using their level balls. They're getting rid of bulk from their deck. The battle VIPs. I'm just checking in on my Pokemon with 270 hit points on a Wyrdeer. I mean, you'd never think of it. They aren't playing any fighting Pokemon, so there's no way they can swing into this for weakness. So with that big of a hand and no Gardevoirs in sight, it's really looking bleak for them. I know that they're really trying to dig and get their energy into the discard pile. So at this point right here, I'm like, what is happening? So there's the Gardevoir. They have one piece of the puzzle here. There is no single prize Gardevoir here from Chilling Reign. So I'm thinking maybe they're going to attack me with Kirlia. There's an Ultra Ball. So they had it pretty much the whole time, just kind of stalling out here. There's more energy in the discard pile with the Ultra Ball. So here's the Gardevoir from the deck. Can they swing it? I'm thinking, okay, they don't have all the energy. They're missing about 1 energy to knock me out. And there we go. They're just drawing 2 more with Shining Arcana. If they're able to manually attach, then they pretty much have it with 6 energy cards in the discard pile that they can attach here. The thing about Gardevoir EX is it can't knock out the Pokemon. There's Fog Crystal, so they're able to get this 7th energy onto the Gardevoir in the active. So cool. It does kind of stink for us that they're able to swing 270 damage, but really cool to watch. Alright, here we go. Psychic Embrace. Putting all these energy, we can count them together. We've got 1, 2, and I know PTCG Live, your animations, ugh. But here we go. We've got everything ready to go. We're going to put 4 energies on there, 5 energies, and let's see, 6. And we'll see the 7th one come down here too. Awesome. and swinging 270 damage. So what we have to think about here is what's going to happen next. So the gift energy will activate, and then we're able to draw some cards. We can still do some things. They're using Super Rod, so they're probably trying to set up for their next play, thinking about what attacker's coming out, because they don't want the Gardevoir EX to come up. If we're putting the Gardevoir EX in their discard pile, it's probably pretty bad for them, being as they only have one Kirlia after that. So they're setting up a long game, and they Iono us to 4 cards, so they're giving us more cards here, but the Temple of Sinnoh is super annoying. So being as not a lot of our attackers care about the Temple of Sinnoh, being that we're colorless and not single strike, really is an advantage here in this type of deck. So we're going to go ahead and we'll see that the Snorlax is in the active, can still attack here, even though gift energy is kind of shut off. We're going to probably use Jet and then Iono them and see what happens here. See if that puts them in a bad spot. Because they dug so hard and the Collapsed Stadium, we're just going to pop single prizer for single prizer and see what this Kirlia becomes. Maybe they get another Gardevoir, but they really have to put some damage on there. We have a Lugia to follow up. Iono us again. Iono back and forth and back and forth. And let's see. Here we go. They're thinking. There's a rare candy. Not going to help them right now. Okay, Gardevoir is a little scary. So they're going to just pump us full of psychic energies one more time. But we do have the gift energy we can draw out of this. So because we have a third Snorlax in the deck as well, we do have boss. We can go for a boss play. It looks like they're trying to load up their Gardevoir EX here. Maybe just knock out Snorlax and then not have to use Gardevoir EX to attack with. They're thinking. They're going back and forth and back and forth. What are they going to do here? Are they going to attack into me? Just take the single prize? Then they're going to go down only 3 prize cards. We've got our Lugia and the boss, and we can boss up something and just take 2 prize cards here. We do have to swing quite a bit into... Okay, and that's the game. With this game-changing update of all of these brand new cards, you can see Lugia V-STAR is becoming an almost unbeatable force in the Pokemon trading card game. If you like the strategies that you saw here in this video, make sure you're commenting down below, or just let us know what type of video you'd like to see next on the channel. As always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel here and hitting that like button and notifying us what we're doing right and what you'd like to see some more. We'll catch you next time here on the Shuffle Squad. Thanks so much. This is PJ. Keep on shuffling.
Thank you so much for supporting the Shuffle Squad by watching this video. It would mean the world to us if you'd like this video, subscribe to the channel, and maybe even leave a comment. You could also click on this other video from the Shuffle Squad to continuously watch and support us. If you haven't got a chance, check out the description to learn more about our sponsors, and that could also help support the Shuffle Squad. Thanks so much for watching. Have yourself a great one.